The federal government says it will continue to put provision of infrastructure at the forefront of its agenda. The government also says the ongoing investigative maintenance test of the third mainland bridge is part of efforts aimed at ensuring that the nation's infrastructural development is safe for use at all times. A correspondent has details in this report.
Several weeks earlier, the federal government had announced its decision to maintain the nation's longest bridge, the third mainland bridge. The decision was reviewed later to ensure the closure does not create disruption to people's day-to-day activities. With the D-Day here and the bridge now under lockdown for assessment, the situation in the hours after was not as disruptive as many feared. It was a case of just moving, but heavy traffic. On the bridge itself, the assessment work had commenced, and according to the Director, Highways and Bridges in the Ministry of Power, Works and Housing, the work will be done in 3 days, after which a more comprehensive understanding of the current status of the bridge will be done.
In favor by the weather, the investigative test is ongoing well. It's ongoing, as you can see yourself. We know that we cannot afford to close this bridge on Monday. So we will do all within our powers to make sure that it ends midnight Sunday.
The controller works in Lagos State, who was also on hand to supervise the assessment works being carried out, said the motive behind the work is not only to determine the status of the bridge, but also to ensure that all bases are covered on the health of Nigeria's longest bridge.
The process for the commencement of the investigative test has started. It started this morning, and we are on it. So far, we've already carried out tests on 13 of the expansion joints out of over 200 expansion joints. So the process is ongoing, and it is expected that it will go on for the next 3 days, weather also permitting.
For his part, the Joint Managing Director of the construction company in charge of the project, Borini Rono Construction Company, Gina Franco Albatazi, gave a detailed account of the kind of tests being carried out on the bridge.
What we are doing now, we are carrying out some tests in order to acquire data that will enable us to determine which of the joints, expansion joint of this bridge, has reached the end of its useful life, which has to be retained.
He added that the results will be known in a few weeks' time, and thus will then determine the next steps.